We're on top of the world here in Sydney. We're here as guests of TC Communications to celebrate the launch of the IsatPhone Pro and also 20 years of TC Communications, which is just an extraordinary feat, I think, for anybody.
And it is all about TC Communications and the guys there that make really some wonderful things happen. Because for 20 years, TC Communications have been working with Inmarsat, and we're delighted to appoint TC Communications as a direct distribution partner for Inmarsat's global satellite phone services. We don't have many of them, and for us to be partnering with TC like this is a real benefit for Inmarsat. We think it's going to be a benefit for the customers as well, and congratulations to Todd. So,
in all that 20 years we've been working with Inmarsat as well. Those guys have allowed us to operate in all the crazy places we've been very reliably, and so that's been good for our customers, been good for ourselves, because sometimes some of those places, that's the communication we've needed to look after ourselves as well. One of the things we've been involved in for the full 20 years is satellite communications, and I've often remarked to people who are fairly new on the team when they look at these handheld devices how we used to provide the same telephone connection with two 32 kilo trunks and a large power supply and charge $10 US a minute to make a phone call. So we've come quite a long way.
Of course, I mentioned before that we've got a group of adventurers now using the IsatPhone Pro around the world, and it's certainly changing their lives, I think, in terms of how easy it's become to communicate.
Look, IsatPhone Pro, when I was asked to come along and say a few words tonight, I was particularly happy to, because it's completely central to all that I do, where I'm in very remote places all the time. And if you want to sort out the logistics of how to deliver aid, whether it's humanitarian relief or longer term environmental project work that I do, you need satellite phone communication, there's no question about that. Something I like about this phone, and I'm not going to try and over pitch it, but it's a lot lighter than the equivalent stuff I used to use 5 or 6 years ago, which is a real positive for me.
What difference is the IsatPhone Pro going to make to you as you go around to these remote locations?
I'll give you a perfect example. Unfortunately, my granddad's not well at the moment, and I was able to talk to him last night, and it made his day. You know, he really did. He lit up, and that wouldn't have been possible without that phone. So as a business tool, it's first class. As far as a personal tool as well, yeah, I mean, being able to talk to my wife, certainly it makes it easier for her to let me book the next trip.
Now, I know, as well as, of course, the IsatPhone Pro, you're also using a BGAN to transmit images back on a regular basis too. So that's something else that TC Communications has provided you with. What difference has that made to your actual business, your photographic business?
It's not a matter of what difference it's made it possible. It keeps me in touch with everyone. It's really simple, makes life very, very easy. It's never failed.
But I would say there's a common theme over the 20 years, which I find very satisfying, and I call that enduring relationships. We have a system in the office called Stars, Superstars and Legends, and if you've been with us for 3 years, you're a star. If you've been with us for 5 years, you're a superstar, and if you've been with us for 10 years, you're a legend. And there's quite a few of the team now actually in the legend category. That's fantastic, and thank you very much for that. I think that is what makes TC. It's the team and what they're able to do and so on.